Okay, here we go. It's 9 o'clock, and tonight's story is gonna be about how I almost shot my Uncle Larry. When we lived in Pennsylvania, we had a really, really big house. It was like 24, 25 room house. And what would happen is, you know, my dad's family and friends, they'd come down for deer hunting season. And some could only stay a day, some could stay 2 weeks, some could stay a weekend, whatever. And it was my first year of legal deer hunting, that is. It was my very first year. So I must have been 12 or 13. And we went out. It was, I can't remember how many we had, but in Pennsylvania, you can only have, like, I think it's 4 or 6 in your hunting party. And so we went out here and we went out here, and then like nobody was having any luck, and you're like, okay, let's split up. So I went with my dad's friend John Castor, and we're out there, we're walking. They never had no mercy on me. I was expected to keep up, and that's really real. But anyhow, John's like, man, and he was a big dude. He was like 6'2". He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll put you here, and I'm gonna go around this way, and I'm gonna see if I can find any deer, maybe drive them over to you. I'm like, okay, I was never afraid of the woods. I spent hours in the woods all the time, by myself. So he sits me there, and it's wintertime, and you know how early it gets dark. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking, listening, don't see no deer, don't hear no deer. It's getting darker and darker and darker, and nobody comes for me. And it's getting darker. So I had snacks in my jacket. So I put my back up against a big tree, and I made this little fire. I got me a stick, and I had a can of Vienna sausages, and I had a pack of Hostess cupcakes, and a package of cheese and peanut butter crackers. And you know how Vienna sausages, if they're cold, they get that yucky jelly stuff? So that's why I built the fire, to keep warm and to put my Vienna sausages over the fire and warm them up. So I'm sitting there and I'm eating my crackers and I'm eating my Vienna sausages, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden I hear, well, I'm sorry, I can't imitate a bush rustling, but the bushes was rustling, and I got scared because where we were at, we have mountain lions and we have bears. So I got my gun, and since I'm left-handed, I always, up until the time I left home, I always used a 410 shotgun for my deer hunting with slugs. And the bushes are rustling, and I got my gun up, and I got it cocked. I'm aiming. I'm just waiting for that mountain lion or that bear to come charging out at me. I was going to get it right between the eyes. I'm a dead shot. Okay? No, really, I am. I've never, ever missed at a target. And anyhow, all of a sudden I hear, oh, sweet Jesus! Don't shoot me, Chrissy! Well, it was my Uncle Larry. So what had happened was everybody in the hunting party, they went back to to the house, and they're all sitting around drinking beer and shooting the shit and talking and everything. And then all of a sudden, I found this out later, of course, but they're like laughing at me. They're like, ha ha ha, we wore her ass out. She's upstairs sound asleep. Go get her, wake her ass up, bring her down here. Well, when somebody come up to my bedroom to wake me up, That's when they realized that I wasn't there, that I was somewhere out in the woods. So half of them went out looking for me and half of them stayed home. And that was, my Uncle Larry was the one that found me. And he saw me sitting there. He thought he'd be a smarty pants and try to scare me. Well, he did scare me, but here's a definition of brave. Being scared and still doing the right thing. But, yeah, they were really laughing it up about me being all worn out. I was sitting out there in the middle of winter, in the middle of the woods, all alone. But I didn't shoot my uncle, and nobody ever did that to me again. The end. And this story goes out to Brandon, my friend, because that's the one he wanted to hear. I hope you enjoy it. Bye. Good night. Be safe.